My name is Tarmack, and this is your Game Industry News Wrap-Up for the week of September 23rd, 2017. Square Enix is going to be focusing on games as a service, according to a message from its president to shareholders recently. Quote, "Gone are the days in which single-player games were of primary status and multiplayer games secondary. Lately, multiplayer games have taken the lead, and it is standard for games to be designed for long-term play," end quote. Despite this new focus on games as a service, Nier Automata, a single-player game, was deemed a global hit, far exceeding their expectations. Historically, games as a service has gone amazingly well for Square. They only had to spin off IO Interactive as a separate company to dump the $40 million in debt racked up because of the amazing success of the Hitman game as a service. So I look forward to numerous newly independent, formerly Squeenix studios after they follow this path. So, last week, PewDiePie did a thing, some stupid racist thing, and being the de facto mouthpiece for all YouTubers and a solid subset of online gaming influencers because YouTube has deigned to promote him up to 50 million plus subscribers, he made a whole bunch of us who make online content really worried for our channels. Things online with the DMCA and advertisers hasn't exactly been friendly since the last time PewDiePie did a thing, always the same guy causing trouble. Anyways, the Firewatch devs filed a DMCA takedown on a PewDiePie video, and PewDiePie's legions of fans review-bombed Firewatch on Steam. Review bombing, for those unaware, is leaving a negative review in droves for any number of valid or invalid reasons, often involving buying, reviewing, and refunding a title. This week, Valve brought out a new update to the review system on Steam. They said that review bombing is effectively consumers using their voice to be heard, and as a result, they don't want to clamp down on reviews. However, they will be making a graph available on each game store page, which will show the recent trend in reviews, so buyers can see large spikes of positive or negative reviews. All of this, despite information from Steam Spy that review bombing has no correlation to a decline in sales for titles long after release. Ultimately, it's Valve giving buyers more data to make decisions with, which will be promptly ignored the next time a big game offers a pre-order on its season pass, which is a lot like paying for a chance to stand in line for a product that hasn't been started yet. The European Commission, commissioned a study on the effects of piracy in various forms of media, from movies to books to games. Not "Yar, high seas talk like a pirate" piracy, but more "I downloaded your game for free now that someone on the other side of the world cracked your Denuvo implementation and packaged it up into a nice, clean, easy-to-use kit so I didn't have to do any work or know anything" kind of piracy. However, the report was never published. That is, until it was revealed as part of an access to information request. As it turns out, Ecorus, the company writing the study, could find no statistical link between piracy and lost sales in video games. In fact, they found that pirated content could, in cases as many as 24% of cases, actually cause a person to go out and buy a game afterwards, which would seem to indicate a significant portion of people are using piracy in lieu of the demos the game industry doesn't want to make anymore. Studies like this do always need to be taken with a grain of salt, as by necessity they must involve significant self-reporting, i.e. people willingly admitting that they pirate stuff. That said, the study authors took steps to remain neutral and anonymize the data in a way that survey respondents seemed to resonate with. The reported rate of piracy on the study was a reasonable amount higher than some other studies, which shows some level of confidence in people being willing to answer truthfully. While I've been a proponent of pirates aren't customers for a while now, what interested me most about this story is that the EU never published the study, which is exactly and almost exclusively what happens when you do a study with the answer in mind and don't get the answer you wanted. Blowing expectations out of the water and showing that the isometric RPG genre isn't dead yet, indie Kickstarter darling Larian Studios has, as of this recording, sold approximately 500,000 copies of Divinity Original Sin 2. The name still bugs me, the second Original Sin. Anyways, gamers couldn't be happier with the game that offers a rather extreme variety in how you can handle situations, with comparisons to the original Deus Ex being made regularly. The last thing I need, with an estimated 5,000 games coming out this year in total, is more 100-hour plus games. But I think I might just have to make time for this one, even if its name bothers me. Fortnite had a great week. We'll talk about the PUBG thing in just a moment, but earlier in the week, Epic accidentally left on a teeny tiny little feature in Fortnite that even had Microsoft's head of the Xbox division, Phil Spencer, saying that he wished they'd left it on. That feature was crossplay with the PlayStation 4. Turns out that the older mention from Psyonix about how crossplay works is not far off of the truth. Psyonix Vice President Jeremy Dunham said last year that the biggest hurdle to crossplay is different server requirements and security protocols, but that this didn't take them very long to figure out and was relatively easy to do. Fortnite accidentally turning on crossplay means that they figured it out, just in case Microsoft and Sony ever bury the hatchet, and then promptly forgot to deactivate it, which I'm sure was totally accidental and not a way of getting some nice free PR in the process. Way to go, Epic. And Sony, come on, you're already beating Microsoft this console generation hand over fist. How about something nice for gamers and their friends who want to play together? Statistically, crossplay would benefit PlayStation's own gamers at a 2-to-1 ratio more than Xbox gamers. And our final story of the week, Bluehole, the publisher of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, a game which takes its core concept from a movie which was based on a book, is accusing Epic Games' Fortnite of being too similar. Fortnite recently received an update which enabled a Battle Royale mode in the game, which, to be entirely fair to PUBG, is similar in a lot of ways. It has an ever-narrowing play area, players dropping from planes to pick their location on the map, winner-takes-all gameplay, with random items scattered around an island. Generally speaking, however, you cannot easily protect game mechanics in a copyrighted sense. They can be patented, which is a very long, expensive process, but let's all guess together how likely it is they have a patent for a Battle Royale game. The Bluehole executive producer clarified, with the primary issue being that Epic put out a press release saying that they were huge fans of games in the Battle Royale genre and named PUBG and H1Z1. And PUBG is unhappy Epic name-dropped them without permission. As much as I hate to say it, I don't think that PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds being a buggy mess is what should be at the top of their priority list anymore. Maybe they should prioritize hiring a PR firm instead of asking themselves, what would United Airlines do? Or maybe they could hire PewDiePie to do their PR work. Couldn't make things much worse. Your game releases for the week of September 24th to 30th are as follows. September 26th, we'll see the cyberpunk action shooter Ruiner from Rycon Games and Devolver Digital. It's heavy on the action, but with a story focus as well, with the player getting some help from a hacker friend to find his kidnapped brother and destroy the corporate conglomerate of Heaven. That's Heaven the company, not Heaven the place. Ruiner will be out on Steam, GOG, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. Total War Warhammer 2 Strategy Battle Sim Extraordinaire releases on September 28th. Play as one of 8 lords and 4 races from the Warhammer franchise in single player via a turn-based open-world campaign or real-time massive-scale battles. One of the races is locked behind a pre-order wall though, which is more than a little crappy. On September 29th, what would make a great slightly late birthday present if the devs would get back to me with review code, the often delayed but still adorable and nostalgic styled Cuphead releases on Xbox One and Windows 10 via the Windows Store and Steam. Cuphead is a run-and-gun game done in a cartoon style from the shows before most gamers today were born, with creative boss battles that was delayed because in the beginning it was essentially only boss battles. This disappointed people, so the devs reworked the game to include more base-level content as well. And finally, a game I could quite literally not care less about, but is still a big deal for some and riddled with microtransactions. FIFA 18 releases on PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and the Nintendo Switch on September 29th. Oddly, it's also on PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, so it must be a hell of an upgrade over the previous year. FIFA 18 also has a story campaign of some kind, which makes me wonder if sports gamers are starting to get tired of paying for a $60 roster update every year. This has been your Game Industry News Wrap-Up for the week of September 23rd, 2017. Please do check the link in the description to join my Discord server and chat with other gamers in a mature, analytical way. My name is Tarmack. Thanks for watching.